Welcome, greetings. I'm Chris.
And I'm Bob. I'm here to talk to you today about a process that we're going to be taking you through. It's called Prairie Circles.
Hey, just kidding. Back here with Prairie Circles, what we want to remind you of is we started with you in Prairie Circles with seed collection. You came out with us and gathered seed. We turned that circle to where you did seed cleaning and helped us recently process that seed. The third step now is
We're here to talk about the processes of stratification and scarification.
the real question that should be in your mind right now is, what in the heck are these two hairy old fools standing out here in a winter prairie? What are we doing out here getting cold and wet?
Stratification. If I was to take this seed right now and drop it into a starter tray, there would be no germination, no starting of growth.
That's why we started you out in the prairie, in the snow, so you could understand this process. In the wilds, each of those individual seeds, an embryo, is encased in a seed coat. In the winter prairie of Iowa, with the cold and freeze-thaw cycles and moisture, what that does to that seed is it eventually cracks that seed coat and liberates that embryo so that it's ready for germination in the spring. If we don't do that, the seed never germinates. We have to go through the process of mimicking nature and stratification. That's your task today.
So I'm going to take you through the process of stratification. Today I'm working with pale purple cone. Some of you had harvested over at north of Adel. I'm going to put this in this bag, and if you look at this bag, I've got it labeled with today's date and also the common name for this species. What's important for this is the science data that we'll gather or keep track of off of this bag. I'll go ahead and place the seeds into the bag like so. And then to help with the process of stratification, I'm going to add some sand. And then just take and get it thoroughly mixed up in the bag so that we've got a good blend. So now I'm going to add some water, and I'm not going to add a lot. We're not going to drown this. We're just going to add a little bit just to get it moist. So I'm going to take just a little bit of water here, pour it into the bag. That's probably more than enough right there. Once again, I'm going to kind of mix it with my fingers, seal it up. Once again, ensuring that it's labeled. The last thing I'm going to do with this is take some type of little sharp object. I'm using a paper clip here today, and I'm going to perforate the bag. What that's going to do is it's going to allow it to get some air back into it. And if you do happen to get a little bit too much water into it, it'll help it escape also. So now our bag is ready for the refrigerator. We've basically duplicated what happens out in the wilds.
Scarification. There is a second process out in the winter Iowa prairie that triggers seeds to germinate. This time, it is not the cold freeze-thaw cycle and moisture that triggers the seed. It is a physical scarring of the heavy seed coat that surrounds the embryo. Some of you may have collected this wild indigo, and if you did, and you've cleaned the seed, you know those little buggers, they have a heavy seed coat. So cold thaw cycle won't do it. In the wilds, what often does it is passing through the digestive tract of an animal, be it a prairie chicken like this or perhaps a bison. That physically scars that seed, scarification.
So the way that we duplicate this process in the lab is we take some of the seed, we place it on some sandpaper, and then with the sanding block, I just go back and forth over the seed a few times and then scarify that seed coat. Just like that. So that's stratification, the process of wet and cold, and also scarification, which is the scarring of the seed.
Well, thank you, friends. You've joined us again for Prairie Circles. We started out here in the fall, seed collection. Excellent work. We moved now more recently to seed cleaning. Thanks again for your efforts. And now you're assisting it as the circle turns to seed treatment, stratification, scarification. The next thing that'll happen is, come spring, we will be taking those treated seeds of yours and putting into the soil as starter trays so we can start growing these beautiful prairie plants. As you have seen, there is much mystery and activity in the winter prairie. Come out here and join us, have some fun. See you soon.